Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2 The Old Gods as Karen. So whenever we last left off, I had started a faction that had said I should be the new Shah over all of Samandid, and as I did that, I went ahead and led a rebellion against them and said I was going to rise up my armies. So now we are fighting to see who will actually have control over Samandid. I've got some very interesting / crazy plans to try to do after we gain control of Samandid, but for now we're just going to see who can actually take control. I have the ability to call in allies, but I mean, it looks like everyone is pretty upset with me, so I'm not even going to attempt it. I have all of my council out and about. No, I don't. I need to have him research some economy tech. I'm going to do that in my capital. And it looks like I actually put these two guys in the wrong territory. I want them to be in the capital. So I'll switch that over in a few months whenever I'm able. But for now, let's go ahead and raise the rest of my army. I want them to fuse together on this territory. Have him march up, but I want him to fuse so that they all arrive at the same time. They are trying to march away, but they will march away on the 31st of May. And I will arrive on the 9th of April. Oh, they've scooted back to June. Okay, awesome. So, they're in June. I'll get there in April. Good. Let's click up the speed. Put it at 3 for now. And they're going to try to fuse up their army as well as I'm bringing mine together. But I really want to fight against that and not let that happen. So that's why I'm going ahead and marching this stack inside of their country to try to take away this huge 770 stack. I bet whenever we arrived, we're going to gain vision of a lot larger stack. And so what I want to do is I want to wait and see. We're going to win this war. They have a lot of bonuses for it being inside of the mountains, but we just have overwhelming numbers to the point that it really isn't going to matter. So after we win this, we want to see where their army is going to retreat to, and then try to fight them there. So they are actually retreating into our land. I could follow them there, but the ability to take on this 3,400 stack is just very tempting. To wipe out that many men early is something I really want to do. So I could have these forces march in, but I've got a feeling, let's see, I'll arrive on the 24th of May, the 9th of May. So I'm going to have them hold off, even though we're both going to the same territory. I want my large army to get there first, and then the smaller army. So I'm going to let a little bit of time click. My vassals are angry that their levies have been raised too long, but I really don't care. 19th of May, 22nd. This should be the same value. Oh, they'll arrive on the 22nd of May, and they will arrive on the 19th of May, so wait just a little bit longer. And we're off. So 25th of May, 22nd of May, 24th of May. So they are going to try to march on me to take out the small army, but I'm going to counter them with that 22nd of May value. So we're actually going to have this large army attack them before they can get over to the smaller army. And then the smaller army will come in as reinforcements. So there's a surprising level of tactics inside of this game, despite it all just looking like you're on a map, opposed to a game like Rome Total War or something like that. There is more than just gathering a large stack and pushing it against their stack. There we go. So we have our two armies fused together. There's no bonuses to either side inside of this territory, and it looks like my numbers are just going to win the day. Awesome. Awesome. Now they're going to retreat, and their morale is just destroyed. They're going to arrive here on June 17th. We're going to march to follow them, fusing our army together. We'll arrive a little bit after, but we'll arrive far sooner than they're able to leave again. So the basic idea right now is that we're just going to hunt down all of their armies before they can even do anything. Especially while their morale is shot and their numbers are diminished. We want to get rid of any resistance they could provide against us. Wonderful. Marching on Merv. We won, even though they're in the hills. And what I want to do right now is I want to create a smart siege. So my goal is eventually to attain all of these provinces, but I want to do it in a way that's smart. So I don't just want to go and spread myself so thin that I can't defend if they raise up another army, and I want to make it to where I can get reinforcements if I ever need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave 1,000 people here, or roughly 1,000, probably a little bit more than that. No. 1,200. They'll be fine for now. I'll grab these 2,800, and I'll put them here. Notice how these territories are touching, so we can move them if we need to. And it's going to provide us, there we go. So 2,800 here, I only need 970, but I want to leave more than that. So I want to leave the larger, I want to leave the smaller army there, and then put this one right here. So all three of these territories are touching each other, so if anything happens, I can quickly gather forces, and that was a very inconvenient time for them to raise those troops. So I could quickly muster an army together. See, I could have moved the 1,500 here to be farther away, but then these two, but then this province wouldn't be able to help, and then these guys wouldn't be able to help that province. So it's good to have them all touching, and you don't want to spread too thin. So I could have put fewer troops, like say here, which only needs 500, but I'm worried about stacks like this forming up. And look, the 800 is going to march over there. So what we need to do right now is actually not even worry about sieging. Try to fuse up and then destroy this large army. I want to fight with my combined strength because I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk any terrible losses. It looks like they're going to try to not fight me, but we're going to see if we can go ahead and force their hand. He's arriving on the 7th, 11th, so he's going to get there before me. So I'm going to do here, which made him stop, and he's going to march into my land. Curator on the 29th of April. Awesome. So I'm going to arrive on the 20th of May, and he's going to leave on the 24th of May, so I'm going to be able to attack him before he can leave. This will be a huge blow to him and his army. And your experience in matters of war has increased, and there are many things you will do differently in future battles. What will you focus on? So master of flat terrain, cavalry, light foot, and heavy-footed infantry. I believe I have quite a lot of light infantry right now if we look at my stack. So I think I'm going to do that. I do have a lot of heavy infantry too, though. Actually, I have more. And the thing is, if you focus on Lightfoot, I believe it gives you a negative bonus to heavy. Yeah, plus 20 Lightfoot, minus 10 heavy. Minus 10 heavy, and I don't want to do that. And heavy does the inverse. So I might actually focus on Master of Flat Terrain. The majority of this is flat. There are some hills around here. I don't know, this is a tough one. As I start going into other lanes later, I might... I'll leave it flat, because I'll probably march north. I'll try to. We'll see. We'll see. I'll look into that later. But we're going to go ahead and take Master of Flat Terrain, especially as we are currently residing on flat terrain. And we pulled ahead. Awesome. So, I mean, it was a rough battle. They lost 1,195, and I lost 826. So there were definitely heavy losses on both sides. I want this war to end, and I don't want them reinforcing. So I'm going to march into my own lands and try to not let them recuperate. While I have the numbers advantage, I just want to push it. Marching back here. They're marching down here, which looks like they're all marching over here for the time being, trying to fuse. And he is marching there. Your commanding presence on the battlefield was felt during the recent victory by friend and foe alike. You bolstered the spirit of the men when it was needed most, and you personally led the final charge that broke the back of the enemy army. Songs will be sung of this day. Gain 100 prestige. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I'm just worried about them going and raising another army against me after it all fuses. I mean, I could probably start sieging, but that force could just as easily march into my lands and siege if I don't deal with it. So I'm going to try to deal with it while I can. I might end up just starting up north and then trying to siege my way south. So I have to leave 500 here. I'm not at war with anyone to the north. And there's a natural barrier, so I can actually leave a lower number here for now. I don't even know if I need 1,000. It's close enough. I'll do that. I don't want the siege to stop. So I'll do this, but I'm not going to siege too many places at the moment. I just don't want to be spread thin. And once again, they're amassing forces, so it can be scary. I'm going to try to stop them before they can. So, my liege, my network of spies here in Deer have found out that a local noble is a homosexual. What should I do with this information? So during this time period, being a homosexual was definitely frowned upon and had some serious historical implications. I think I'm going to go ahead and blackmail him and just kind of see what comes about it. And I also want to see if I'm able to move my advisors. I can. Good. So let's move them off to the capital. Awesome. And this is already starting to segment. Great. Great, great, great. I want this to just be a lot of small fractured nations. Let's see. I can't even see them at the moment. They're probably just hanging out down here. I could chase. I don't know if I even want to. I really want this war to end, and the fewer men I can lose while doing it, the better. Good, I was able to catch them on flat terrain. That army disappeared. I don't think I'm actually even going to march in on them because they don't have enough people to siege. So I'm really not that worried. I conquered this area. The rise of Shia. The schism at the heart of Islam dates back to its earliest days. The majority Sunnis have long persecuted the followers of Ali. The Shias forcing them into hiding. The partisans of Ali look to his descendants for leadership, but they are forced to keep their ancestry secret. Now, though, the Shias are mobilizing their strength behind a boy whom they claim to be Ali's rightful heir and imam. Other Islamic jurists claim that the boy is clearly a fraud, but to his followers, he is the person they have been waiting for, and now they flock to his banner. And I say, ha, the fools fight amongst themselves, because I am currently a Zoroastrian, so I'm looking down upon the other faiths. And I believe that with the rise of this new faith and wars being fought all around, this will be a good time to pause this video, and we will come back next time. Thanks again, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, leave me a message, and I'll get back to you. Bye-bye.